Hey guys, my name's Dr. Insaniac, and I have the Super Besterest movie review channel that I have, and I'm going to do it right now because did you guys see that? Did you guys watch Buck Rodgers? Because I like to watch Buck Rodgers, and there was this one episode called Space Vampire, and it was about a space vampire where Buck Rodgers and Wilma and Tweaky go to this space station, and then this big ship crashes into the space station, and then Buck Rodgers goes to look at the hole where the space place where there's a hole in the space station, and then a space vampire comes out of the ship that crashed in to the space station, but he didn't know that there was a space vampire yet. And then the doctor says, hey, everyone on the ship died because of crazy space AIDS, because there's this disease that makes people go crazy and then they die. And then Buck Rodgers thinks that it was really a space vampire. And then Wilma starts to feel weird and all funny because the space vampire was looking at her, and then the space vampire goes to get the doctor guy, and then the space station guy is all like, "Oh, well, that means that for sure this is space crazy AIDS." And then the Buck Rodgers gets attacked by all the dead people who are really space vampires now, and then he runs away because he burns the space vampire with his button thing that they used to wear on Battlestar Galactica uniforms. And then the space vampire tries to put the moves on Wilma, and she all freaks out because she doesn't like space vampires. And then Buck Rodgers comes in to save her, and then the space station guy thinks that Buck Rodgers has crazy space AIDS because he didn't see the space vampire, and then he puts Buck Rodgers in jail. And then the space vampire really likes Wilma, and he tells her that he won't eat Buck Rodgers if she lets him turn her into a space vampire too. And Wilma was like, oh, okay. And then the space vampire bites Wilma with his fingernails, because that's, how you know that it's a space vampire and not like a normal vampire. And if he's an underwater vampire, he bites you with his toenails. And then Wilma goes to the jail and tries to get Buck Rodgers to be a space vampire too, and he was all like, ew, gross, I don't want to do that. And then Wilma and the space vampire go get on a spaceship, and then it flies into the sun because Buck Rodgers made it that way. And then but then Wilma gets into another part of the ship and then flies away, and then the space vampire explodes because he flies into the sun. Did you guys see this episode of Buck Rodgers? I thought this episode, because I saw this episode, and I thought this episode was okay. I mean, there weren't any big laser fights or any spaceship fights, and so I was kind of bummed out about that. But then when the ship ran into the space station, that was kind of cool. And Wilma was supposed to be Buck Rodgers' friend, but she went to be a space vampire and then tried to make Buck Rodgers be evil too, and I didn't really like that part. But Buck Rodgers is really awesome, and I think you guys should watch this show, but not the second season because it's super terrible and boring.
Click the subscribe button because you know you want to, and remember to squish that like button. Squish it!